Hello again, Algebra 1. This is quarter 4, week 3 examples. So this week we are talking about percent increase and decrease. So if you watch the vocabulary video, these are familiar terms to you. And if you remember what I said in the first video, these are all going to be tied back to our slope-intercept form again. So we know slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So m is our rate of change. For percent increase or decrease problems, this is where our percent goes. And we're always going to write this in decimal form when we put it into an equation. And b is our initial value, also starting value. So we're going to keep using the same formula, and we're just going to put some percentages in it. So let's look at an example problem. So Sally puts $200 in a savings account. She earns $2 interest every month that she leaves it there. How much will she have in 1 year? All right, so sometimes banks will give you interest. So every time, if you leave your money there and don't mess with it, they give you more money. So that's one way people take some money and make a little bit more with it, and you don't even have to do anything. It just sits there and makes you money. So that's what this situation is representing. So how much does she start with? What is the initial value? Well, the initial value is how much she puts in her account, so $200. Initial value is $200. All right, next we need to figure out what is the percent increase or decrease. So she earns 2% interest. 2% interest. And she's earning it. Earning means you are getting more money. So this is percent increase. So this is a positive rate of change. So our percent increase is 2%. So this gets a little bit more complicated than just throwing 2% and 200 into an equation. What we have to do from this point is we have to figure out, well, she gets 2% of that 200. What is 2% of 200? That's how much it increases, not 2%. It's not going to increase by 2% every time. So first thing is I like to change 2% into decimal form. So I'm going to take 2.0, and I'm going to take this decimal, and I'm going to move it 2 places to the left, and that leaves this blank spot right here, so just fill it in with a 0. So 2% written in decimal form is 0.02. If I do 2% divided by 100 in my calculator, it will give me the same answer. Okay, so now I need to know what is 2% of 200. So the easy way to do that is 0.02. Once you have your decimal form, take that and multiply it by the initial value, 0.02 times 200. So 2% of 200 is equal to $4. If I do 0.02 times 200 in my calculator, I end up with 4. So 4 is our rate of change. So I can plug in this information into slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So when I plug this in, I get y equals, and here's where we have to be careful, our slope is the rate of change, not the percent that is going up or down. So our rate of change in this case, she's going to get $4, earn $4 every month. So y is equal to 4x plus 200. And this is kind of a simpler way of doing these problems. There's an Algebra 2 version that you'll learn later that makes it more complicated, because what do we always do in math? We take what you already know and we make it harder. So this is our Algebra 1 version. Alright, so I have my equation here. This is my equation that is based on the word problem. Now I have to go back up here and figure out what is it asking me. So it's asking, how much will she have in 1 year? That's all well and good. I also need to know what exactly does my x represent. So I'm going to read back through the problem and see if I can figure out how often is this increasing. Is it increasing every day, every hour, every week, every month, every 6 months, every 2 months, every year? So Sally puts $200 in a savings account. She earns 2% interest, oh there it is, every month. This tells me my x is going to represent 1 month. So how much will she have in 1 year? How many months are in a year? So we know x is 1 month. And our question says, how much in 1 year? So I have to convert years into months. Should be something everyone has memorized. 1 year equals 12 months. So 12 is the number I want to plug in for my x. So let's see what we get. Y equals 4 times 12 plus 200. So 4 times 12 is 48 plus 200. So it looks like after 1 year, she's going to have $248 in her account. So I hope you took notes on this. We will do some more examples of this together when you come to Zoom this week, because this is a kind of strange, weird, new way of looking at slope-intercept form, because we have that one extra step where we have to calculate the percent increase or decrease. So make sure you take notes, make sure you write down any questions you have, and I will see you soon on Zoom.